And now moving to Botswana. The country is home to over 100,000 elephants. It houses more elephants than any other country in the world. But in recent years, a tragedy has hit Botswana. Hundreds of elephants have been dying in the southern African nation. The mystery has shocked the world. What is this silent killer? And how does its deadly grip threaten not just African elephants, but wider wildlife in the region? Our next report has more.
In the sprawling wilderness of Botswana, a chilling mystery unfolded in 2020. Over 350 African elephants were found dead. Their massive body frames were scattered across the sunlit savanna. The sheer scale and suddenness of the elephant deaths sent shockwaves across the world. The fallen guardians of African wildlife were found with their precious tusks intact, so poaching was immediately ruled out as the cause of death. There were no clinical signs of a disease outbreak either. For months, the country of over 100,000 African elephants had one question: what could be the reason that killed these mighty creatures in their prime? Botswana's wildlife officials concluded that toxins in drinking water killed these elephants. And now, scientists have answered how exactly these toxins killed Botswana's majestic tuskers. In the summer of 2020, when humans were combating the COVID-19 pandemic, elephants in Botswana were dying due to a poisonous brew in their drinking water. In the country's Okavango Delta, watering holes across 6,000 square kilometers were contaminated. The contaminant was a microgiant unknown in Botswana, the cyanobacteria or blue-green algae.
A diagnosis of neurotoxic cyanobacterial poisoning from seasonal water plants has been made relating to the elephant mortality in Botswana that started April of this year.
Cyanobacteria are microorganisms that thrive in stagnant, nutrient-rich waters. Some of them produce toxins potent enough to bring down one of Earth's largest mammals. Scientists say that Botswana's fallen elephants likely drank water from several contaminated puddles starting in May 2020. Satellite imagery showed that these elephants traveled an average of 16.5 kilometers after drinking contaminated water. With each sip, the invisible danger mounted until it became fatal. Within 88 hours of the first contaminated sip, the final blow of toxins knocked off the life from the giant bodies of these elephants. Botswana's water puddles became death traps for its elephants. Later, officials promised intervention to prevent such mass die-off events.
Isolation of cyanobacteria in our freshwater system is a concern because it has the potential to negatively impact on our wildlife population, and we will ensure to put up measures that allow us to monitor effectively and intervene where a need arises.
The latest study suggests that similar mass die-off events may take place in southern Africa in the future as well. Climate change is creating conditions ripe for similar toxic blooms in the region. The animals in the region face exceptionally high risks of toxin exposure in the water they drink. The next mass die-off event could be as bad as the worst mass mortality events in Earth's history. In Botswana, the giants of the savannah have fallen not to poachers or predators, but to an invisible, insidious threat born of nature's imbalance. As climate change fuels toxic blooms and human pressures intensify, the stakes for Africa's elephants have never been higher. The question now is urgent. Can Botswana, the sanctuary of Earth's largest elephant population, rise to protect its elephants? Or will the next catastrophe rewrite the country's wildlife history?